All right, let's talk about learning Mandarin Chinese. For a lot of us, just the thought of it brings up these images of endless flashcards and super confusing grammar rules. But what if there's a less painful way to learn? A much less painful way. Let's dive in and find out.
We've all heard this saying, right? No pain, no gain. And honestly, when it comes to learning Mandarin, it often feels like it's all pain for very, very little gain. It's seen as this grueling, uphill battle, and that's the association so many of us have with it.
So this is the big question for today. Does it really have to be like that? Is it possible to learn Mandarin without feeling like you're constantly cramming for a final exam? Is there a way to make it less painful and maybe, just maybe, even enjoyable?
Okay, so first up, we have got to talk about some of the promises you see out there. Because a quick search online can leave you feeling pretty overwhelmed and, frankly, a little bit misled.
I mean, you've definitely seen these titles before. Learn Chinese in 30 minutes, master 1,000 characters in a month, and they get millions of views, which really just proves how badly people want a shortcut. It's a huge temptation, this idea that you can just find some secret hack to become fluent.
But here's the reality check. The problem is, these shortcuts, they just don't build a strong foundation. Sure, you might learn a handful of phrases, but you're not going to build real, lasting fluency. It's like building a house out of cardboard. It might look impressive for a second, but it's gonna crumble.
So, if the quick hacks don't work, then what does? Well, it all starts with setting a more realistic foundation. And that really just requires a simple but super important shift in your mindset.
This right here, this is the one thing to remember if you don't remember anything else from this explainer. It's a long-term commitment. Even the most gifted language learners you can think of put in an incredible amount of time. It's not about being a genius. It's all about persistence.
And let me just be crystal clear here. If you're just looking to learn a few phrases to order food or maybe impress a friend, that's totally cool. But this is for those of you who are aiming for genuine, real fluency. And that's going to require investing your time.
Okay, so we've established it takes time, but the real question is, how should we spend that time? This is where it gets really, really interesting. The answer is something called immersion learning, and it's based on a method we have all, literally all of us, used before.
Just take a look at the contrast on this slide. On the left, you've got the typical adult way. We study, we force grammar rules, we drill flashcards, we memorize lists. Ugh, it feels like work. But on the right, that's how kids learn. They listen, they absorb, their brains just sort of figure it out from context.
Which begs the question, right? Why on earth do we force ourselves to learn the hard way? We are all born with this incredible, natural gift for acquiring language. So why is it that when we become adults, we just ditch that and start treating it like it's a math problem?
Let me give you a quick example. Imagine I said to you, this bee is yellow. And then I showed you another one and said, this bee is blue. You wouldn't need a dictionary. Your brain would just connect the dots and figure out that bee means pen. See? That is your inner childlike learning ability just kicking in. It's all about context and absorption.
Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Hold on, I'm not a baby. My brain is different now. And you're right. It is. But that's actually a really, really good thing.
You see, you're not a baby. You have superpowers a toddler could only dream of. For one, your adult brain can make connections much, much faster. Unlike a baby, you get to choose what you listen to. And hey, if you get really stuck, you have these incredible tools, the internet, to look things up. The goal isn't to be a baby, it's to learn like one, but with all your awesome adult advantages. So, how do we actually put all this into practice? Let's break down the actual, real steps you can take to start immersing yourself in Mandarin, like today.
First, there's a key concept you gotta know. It's called Comprehensible Input. This is the sweet spot. It's language, videos, podcasts, where you can understand most of it, but not every single word. That little gap is what allows your brain to do its magic and figure out the rest from context, just like you did with the word be.
So here it is, your immersion starter kit. It really is this simple. Just 3 steps. First, find content that you actually find interesting. Second, make sure it's in that comprehensible sweet spot we just talked about. And third, you need to embrace a powerful tool called passive listening. Okay, this first one is absolutely crucial. Your interest is your best motivator, period. It could be Chinese dramas, YouTube channels, cartoons, podcasts, whatever. As long as you actually enjoy it, you'll stick with it.
You're no longer studying, you're just enjoying stuff that happens to be in Mandarin.
And for all you busy people out there with jobs and families, this one's for you. This is your solution. You don't always have to be actively watching or studying. Just having Mandarin audio playing in the background while you're driving or cleaning or walking, it helps your brain absorb the rhythms, the sounds, and the patterns of the language.
So let's just sum it all up. The least painful way to learn Mandarin. It isn't some secret hack or a 30-day challenge. It's about shifting your entire mindset from studying to absorbing. It's about being consistent and creating an immersive environment that just lets your brain do what it was born to do, learn. So, I'll leave you with this one final question. I want you to forget the grammar books for just a moment. What is one piece of content, a drama, a channel, a podcast, that you could find right now and just listen to? Your journey to fluency can start with something as simple as pressing play.